news from a
like game day, doesn't it? It just feels a little different when the conference tournament is here, when March, hopefully madness begins. What up, y'all? Greetings from Las Vegas, Nevada at the beautiful Thomas & Mack Center. The opening drive comes to you this morning from two different locations. Here at the Thomas & Mack Center, the home of the Mountain West Conference Tournament, the Air Force Reserve Mountain West Conference Tournament, where the Lobos will play today. Men against San Jose State, 3:30 over on News Radio KKOB, and of course downtown Albuquerque, where y'all are. What's happening?
What it do?
It do. It do. It's it do a lot. It do a lot. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah, and who's producing on ProView? Can I guess?
Oh, you can guess.
It's what's it today's one? Is that J Paul?
No.
Josh?
It's Josh today.
All right. Is it Wednesday a typical J-Poll day?
Usually.
Okay. Just making sure I understand it. Yeah. They got a lot going on, man. You know, state tournaments and
very busy.
Yeah, very busy. All right. You feel like game day? You feel different? You feel busy? You feel you I got no feeling at all, Jeff. I woke up this morning and
I just woke up and just numb. No, it's the start of what could be. That's what conference tournament to the table. And I expect the Lobos to handle their business today. No problem with San Jose State. Then run it back with Utah State tomorrow. I think it's going to be a good start and finish today for New Mexico. And then we'll be able to recap it all and look at what could be different round 2 against Utah State.
Lobos got in town. Flight was delayed yesterday. Little mechanical problems in Albuquerque getting out of there, but they all arrived. They did not practice here yesterday, but they feel, look, by all indications, coming off of what happened on Saturday, they feel like this is a fresh start. And you listen to what they say. Everybody's saying the right thing. We figured it out. We've got an opportunity. We're coming off a big win. This is we saw our potential. We maximized our potential. We got effort. All of those things. We don't want all of those things as they go into is what Steve Alford used to say, season 3, and I think what Paul Weir called it their trimester to the season, and this is the new trimester, and all pick your cliche, pick however you want to look at it. But look, we're going to find out tonight or this afternoon if Saturday was an absolute anomaly, if it was a blip on the radar, or did this team figure something out? And I asked Hunter yesterday, JJ, did maybe they just finally accept, all right, those guys aren't coming back, and losing sucks, and let's go out and have fun and play basketball?
Yeah, and I think today, for the Lobos, only bad things can happen. Because if it's a close game, if somehow they struggle in this contest and be like, well, they didn't discover anything, they didn't find anything out, that's the be able to handle San Jose State, who's lost 9 in a row the last 2 games for the Spartans. Now, they've played Utah State and UNLV, but they were ran out of the building. They had losses to Air Force, to Fresno State. Before that, Wyoming beat them. So this is a team that got you early on. January 1st, kind of right around when all this stuff was really still going down and was fresh in this team's mind with Carlton Bragg and J.J. Caldwell when they went to San Jose State in that game where they had a 14-point lead midway through the first half, found themselves down by 18 in the second half, and then eventually lost with Jaquan Lyle missing a potential game-tying three-point shot there at the final buzzer, and then they flip it around 20 days later and beat them 86-59. So while there's tons of questions with this basketball team, what did Saturday actually mean? Can it be something big going forward? I think today it's one where they handle their business and really will answer those questions tomorrow against Utah State.
All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to. We're here for you, 505-246-0610. It's the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Emails, I have accessibility to that here in Las Vegas at Jeff at 610knml.com or JJ at 610knml.com. On the Twitter, it's _JJ Buck. On the Facebook, the OD and the AM. Of course, you can watch the show worldwide, ProViewNetworks.com. Go to our Facebook page. Josh is producing for you on the ProView side and Micah on the radio side. First time in 21 years, no Lobo has been on the all conference team. Media poll came out 2 days ago, and the coaches awards came out yesterday. Malachi Flynn, Player of the Year; Brian Dutcher, Coach of the Year; Isaiah Stevens, Freshman of the Year; and Zuza, the Sixth Man of the Year, which was all the same, right? Or pretty much the same. Flynn was voted Defensive Player of the Year. The media had Namus Keita, and Jalen Harris was the coach's Newcomer of the Year, where the media went with Flynn. I don't know how you can have a guy who's member of the league and you say he's the Player of the Year, but he's not the Newcomer of the Year. I guess the coaches just want to split the awards. Is that? I mean,
that's the way it feels,
right?
Yeah.
Well, how do you have a guy who's Player of the Year?
Let's just honor this guy, Player of the Year, who is also a Newcomer of the Year, but we'll give it to Harris, who's deserving.
How can it even? I mean, how can it possibly be something else? Dutcher said everyone gets a ribbon. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. When he was asked about the Newcomer.
Other than the team record, it really wasn't that crazy if you talked about Flynn and Harris. Just what they did in Mountain West.
You got to make a pick, right? Pick one. I mean, I get it. They were close. They were really close, and they got separated in the final game. If the balloting was close, they went head-to-head in the final game. Flynn went for a career-high 36. Jalen Harris disappeared down the stretch, and San Diego State won in Reno going away. Honestly, I was all in on the argument going into the final game, and the argument was settled in the final game on the floor in Reno.
If you're the Player of the Year, you probably should be the Newcomer of the Year.
Don't you think? If you're a newcomer and you're Player of the Year, how does somebody else win a lesser award if you won the big award? But whatever it is. All right, let's go to the phones. 505-246-0610. John, good morning. You're on the opening drive. How you living, John?
Hey, good morning, guys. Hope you guys are having a good time in Vegas. Hey, as for the Lobos, JJ just fell back. Everything seemed to be going wrong on them and everything. Well, you know what? It was all self-induced. But you know what? I totally believe we have enough talent and a team good enough that if they put this stuff behind them, they play some tough defense, they block out, get the rebounds, hit the open shot instead of forcing shots, I absolutely believe the Lobos can make a run. Go Lobos!
Woof, woof, woof. Thank you, John. See, John's a believer.
He's in.
Yeah.
Getting that March feeling.
Oh, it's good, man. I mean, it's look, the Lobo fan got a taste of something special on Saturday. Now, was it fool's gold? Was it a one-hit wonder? I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer, and I don't know that we're going to find out tonight. They should win tonight, right? They should win tonight. Have you seen a spread yet? I haven't even looked.
I haven't seen one this morning.
So I would guess the spread's going to be at about 5.5, 4.5. Would you guess 4? Let me say 4.5 before I look. They should win tonight. They shouldn't, by all rights, win tomorrow, but they can, right? You got a Utah State team who's going to be coming off that loss, who's on the bubble. Utah State right now, and both Jerry Palm and Joe Lunardi are amongst the last 4 teams in. They're playing in the Dayton games, right? So they've got everything to play for. If New Mexico beats Utah State on Thursday here, Utah State's problem, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be good for them.
Well, and again, you can't put everything in a vacuum, but probably out. And look, they might be out right now. Because if you've got a few upsets and bid stealers, as we like to call them, we don't, but that's what they're called, right? A few bid stealers, Utah State's right there to be stolen.
Mm-hmm. Lobos are a 9-point favorite.
9. Is that too much?
No.
I was going to play them at 4.5, 5.5, even 6.5. 9's a lot, isn't it? You don't think so?
No. I think they're that much better than San Jose State right now.
They should be.
Yes.
It's a big number. All right. By the way, this will be the 4th time in the conference tournament. Now, they didn't always have the play-in game. But this is the 4th time that the Lobos are in the play-in round. And Paul Weir's the only coach who's won one. Paul Weir won last year. Remember, they played in Wyoming here before losing to Utah State on Thursday. Craig Neal was 0-1. Richie McKay was 0-1 in play-in games. Look, it's not typical to see a Lobo team seeded 7th, 8th, 9th. It's not fun to be seeded 7th, 8th, or 9th. But it's where we are. I would tell you of the teams playing today, right? Colorado State is they're the 6th seed. New Mexico is the 7th seed. Air Force is the 8th seed. Fresno State is the 9th seed. San Jose State is the 10th seed. And Wyoming's the 11th seed. Would you say New Mexico probably feels the best about themselves, or Colorado State?
I would say it's Colorado State, New Mexico. If I'm looking at a team that's playing today that could win multiple games, it's those two teams.
All right. Keep it going. 505-246-0610. We got a lot to do today here on the opening drive. We are in Vegas at the Mountain West Conference Tournament, and we are here because of 5 great tournament sponsors who made sure that we're here to cover this for you. 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Call attorney Clay Miller at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. American Home Furniture and Mattress, they guarantee you'll pay less. Hooters, your college hoops headquarters. Airport parking, park for less than half the price of Sunport parking. And Rudy Chavez, attorney at law. Remember, Saul calls Rudy. Back to your phone calls. We got a bunch to get through. There was a lot. There's NFL stuff. Broncos may be getting a former Pro Bowl cornerback via trade. We got a lot of college hoops to get through. There's a couple of WAC games that were canceled. Maybe the first games in America, first events to be canceled because of coronavirus. It's the opening drive in Las Vegas and in Albuquerque. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible, world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
So it was 23 years ago tomorrow. The only other time the Lobos and San Jose State have played in a conference tournament. Good morning, it's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda in Las Vegas. JJ Buck back at Radio Ranch in downtown Albuquerque. Did you know that? They've only played once in conference tournament play over the years? And it was in the WAC tournament, JJ. Back in the WAC. Back in the WAC tournament, it was 1997, March 5th, 1997. The only time the Spartans and the Lobos played in a WAC tournament. The Lobos won 103-70 back in the day. San Jose State doesn't play well in conference tournaments. In fact, they, since joining the WAC, have not been very good. I'm sorry, since joining the Mountain West, have been very not good. Is that right? Does that even mean something? Very not good? Haven't played well at the Mountain West tournament. They are 0-5 in conference tournament play since joining the conference back in the 2013-2014 season. So that means they didn't make it a couple of years, right?
Yeah,
14,
right.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. This would be the 7th year they've been in the league. And they're 0-5, so I guess 1 year they didn't make it. But their guy is Seneca Knight. He's been their guy. He's third in Mountain West scoring, averaging a little over 20 points a game, just behind Jalen Harris of Nevada. And Bryce Hamilton of UNLV, he had 3 30-plus games against Mountain West opponents this season, against UNLV, on the road, actually, in this building against UNLV. At Nevada and against Colorado State. So that's your guy. After him, you figure you've got, well, maybe even with him, you feel that you've got matchup advantages, right?
Oh, absolutely, all across the board. It's just the three-point shooting you have to watch out for. It hasn't been that big of a factor against the Lobos recently. But we know in that first game what Richard Washington was able to do. Now, this is one where if you just handle your business on the Lobos side, you're going to win and probably cover, because San Jose State just isn't good at basketball. Yeah, they have a couple guys that can go off. You saw that before. But even with all that's gone down, I think enough happened on Saturday night that there's a confidence in this group. Now, only bad things can happen tonight. To your point, Jeff, we'll find out once they get past this game, if they get past this game, what kind of team they are against better competition. Now, if they fall on their face first few minutes of this contest, then we can throw everything that we've talked about out of the window. But I don't expect that to happen. And I think you're kind of the same way with this. There's a confidence going in, but how much are we really going to know that's a carryover against a team like San Jose State?
Well, I think part of it, the confidence is, part of it's they played well and beat what we both consider to be a really good team on Saturday. And the other piece is San Jose State, while they beat New Mexico on New Year's Day in Northern California, we all remember that, it was 88-85, they have lost 9 in a row. They have lost 12 of their last 13 games. Their one win was against Air Force at home by 9 points. And they've been losing big. They lost their last game to UNLV at home, 92-69. They lost before that at Utah State, 94-56. They played a close one with Colorado State, but Boise State beat them 80-62. They're giving up a boatload of points. Now, they had a tight one with Fresno State back on February 12th. But their last couple games, they've lost in big way, and they're not playing well. So, JJ, to your point, I think that's the other reason that you feel pretty confident about that. Yep, the Lobos played their best game of the conference season in their last time out, and they're playing a team that's really, really scuffling. Yeah,
and even when the Lobos ran them out of Dreamstyle Arena, the pit, that was a game that Van Jackson and Jaquan Lyles did not play in. And while we've seen, I kind of dubbed them oil and water at the end of conference play, and we saw just a different group Saturday night. And that's all it takes. It's one game, take it to the next, have some belief in each other, play hard, and that's what conference tournaments do. They give you just a little bit of hope.
Well, we've watched teams get hot, and whether it's in this conference or other conferences. Here's the fact, and this is what we've been sitting around, when you say maybe they're not that good, they haven't been good. But the belief is they've got some good players. They're just not a good team, right? When you look around and give me, all right, Vance Jackson, Jaquan offensively, and then throw me a Corey Manigault who can play really well at times, and a Quach Malawach, and you start looking up and down the lineup. I don't think they're good enough to win this tournament. They're not better than Utah State, honestly. They're not better than San Diego State. They're probably not better than Nevada, but they can win some games here, right? I mean, they're good enough that they should be able to be a factor. Isn't that fair?
I think it's fair, and it's just what Lobo fan has been waiting for all conference season. We see the individual talent when discussing this basketball team, but it's the lack of everything else that helps a team come together that this team was missing. And can you flip a switch just in one night to erase everything? No, but you can't put yourself in position to at least go down, finish, try to win that last game much better than you played before that.
Yep. All right, 505-246-0610. That's where we are today, 888-922-0610. We'll read your emails that come in at Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ at 610knml.com. Get you ready for high school stuff. We got the big high school tournament. Adam Deal due to be with us, at 9:15 today? Going to be in studio?
The real deal.
The real gigantic bigness of deals. So he's ready to go. By the way, the women will play their championship game here today for the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. Fresno State will be in it as the top seed. They beat San Jose State yesterday in the semifinal, the first one, 94-68. They will play the number 2 seed, Boise State, who beat Wyoming 79-71. So after the first games, where there were 2 dark shirts that won. Actually, that's not even right. San Diego State was the only favored seed to lose in this whole tournament. Otherwise, JJ, the whole tournament was chalk. You had 1, 2, 3, and 4 playing yesterday. 1 and 2 will play today. The only seed that advanced that was wearing a dark shirt, meaning they were the lower or the worst seed, pick whatever you like, lower or higher, was when 11th seed Utah State beat San Diego State 81-79 in overtime. That was the only dark shirt to win on the women's side going into the championship. That never happens that way, right? All chalk. Usually, I guess more so in women.
Yeah, usually get more chalk.
Yeah, certainly more chalk in women. But so that's what you've got today. That game is tonight. If in case you want to watch it over on the Mountain West Network, I believe that's where it is. 8 o'clock our time in Vegas. 9 o'clock back home. It'll be Fresno State and Boise State for the women's championship here at the Thomas & Mack Center. The schedule today: the first game starts here at noon our time, 1 o'clock Mountain Time. 8-9 game. Fresno State Air Force go first. Fresno State will be the 8, wearing the light jerseys, light uniforms. Air Force is the 9. Then the New Mexico San Jose State game. That is the 2:30 scheduled tip, and again, it'll all be contingent on 30 minutes after the prior game ending. New Mexico, the 7th seed, San Jose State, the 10, and then at 5 o'clock, 6th seed Colorado State will take on the number 11 seed Wyoming, a renewal of their great rivalry, the Border War, which they will take down here to the conference tournament and play it here. So that's your schedule here at the Thomas & Mack Center today for your first round of conference tournament play. And, of course, you can listen to the Lobo game if you're out and about. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green will have the call over on 96.3 News Radio KKOB. Pre-game show will start at 3 o'clock. Tips scheduled for 3:30, but again, as you know, in conference tournaments, it all fluctuates depending on the game prior. Will not start before 3:30. Hey, no one does home equity loans and lines of credit like Kirtland Federal Credit Union. Home equity is the value in your home. A home equity loan or line of credit lets you turn that value into cash or credit. So does your home need a new bathroom or kitchen or just some upgrades? Check out Kirtland Federal Credit Union's home equity offerings. With Kirtland Federal Credit Union, there are 0 closing costs. That could save you thousands of dollars on your home equity loan or line of credit. It's easy to apply. You can use your cash or credit for anything, an upgrade, an event, any expense you may have. Stop by and see the experts at the Kirtland Federal Credit Union Home Loan Center at the corner of Jefferson and Osuna. Kirtland Federal Credit Union, they are more than military. They are for life. Kirtland Federal Credit Union is an equal housing lender, federally insured by the NCUA.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What what is desire. Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6...
Lots of questions, J.J. Buck. Lots of questions. And an idea for an invention. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, J.J. Buck. Micah and Josh is producing for you over on the ProView Network. You can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or go to our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, and, of course, statewide on Comcast Channel 26. I'm in Vegas. JJ and those guys are all back at Radio Ranch, beautiful downtown Burque, as conference tournaments are here. It's weird. JJ, because like I said, we've been here the last X number of years, and there's always the WAC tournaments going on. Yeah. The Aggies are across town. The Pac-12 is in town. Don't have that this time, and it's I don't want to say spooky or empty because it's not, but it certainly has a different feel to it.
Less basketball can feel weird at this time.
There's hockey last night though. Right as I was, my Uber had to drive me. The hotel's pretty much adjacent, not adjacent, but across the parking lot to T-Mobile Arena, and we're trying to get in right as the hockey game was starting. So there was a ton of traffic. But you go everywhere, man. They love their Golden Knights here. It's like their only pro team right now. The Raiders haven't started, and everywhere you go, the Knights are on. All the bartenders are watching. All the locals, they love them some Golden Knights. That's for sure.
It's fun.
It is fun. And they won last night, by the way, 3-0 over the Devils. All right, so you want my idea for an invention?
What do you got?
So, and I think bigger cities, I noticed it a ton yesterday, but I've been noticing much more in our town. I think traffic lights need to evolve. All right? So you've got your red and your yellow and your green lights, right? We've had it for, I don't know, a zillion years. I think it's time to evolve. I think when the light, you don't need anything when it turns red, but when the light turns green, there needs to be a horn because the driver is always looking at his damn phone, and it needs to be not the guy behind him honking at him, but it almost needs to be audible when the light turns green. It just get off your phone. And go.
What happened? You got stuck behind a couple drivers like that?
It's been happening a lot lately. Like it's almost been like in the last month, and it's been in our town. I watched it happen like 4 times yesterday in the cars that I was in, and the Uber drivers lose their mind. But is that not happened to you?
It's happened before.
Yeah,
I haven't thought about like
instead of you honking your horn. What
a goal horn that goes off when it turns green. Mm-hmm. Get everyone's attention. Move. Because then when someone starts honking at you, you get upset, and you're like, hey, maybe I just zoned out for a moment. Chill out.
Yeah,
it's okay. I might not just be looking at my phone. It just changed. Those are the worst, though, when it just changed, and like you can't even get your foot off the brake, and someone starts honking at you to go. Yeah, and then you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to sit here 5 seconds longer.
Oh, here comes some road rage.
And then, then it starts.
Here comes some road rage. Yeah.
Green light.
See, I'm down with that. Right?
Move.
Light.
Get out the way.
The big old hockey horn. Yes. See? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help society. That's all. I'm just here for the better, the betterment of the group. You know that. The good of the group. That's what I'm about. All right, Lobos and San Jose State today. Tell me they're a 9-point favorite, huh?
9-point favorite.
Dan says there is no way San Jose pushes Lobo basketball today. Do they, Jeffrey and Micah John? He didn't ask you. No, Spartans already looked ready to check in their equipment when they were at Wise Pies a month ago, so I can't imagine them making this a game. That's from Dan. All right. I think Lobos win, and you think they win handily and cover the 9, huh?
I do. That's where I'm at right now.
All right. These are coming in, Jeff at 610knml.com. You can go there, or JJ at 610knml.com. Gene says, team talk a lot beats coach talk a lot. Jeff, the way coach talk a lot was flapping his lips after the BYU series that you'd think they were already in Omaha. Same club got one hit last night in Phoenix. Lobo baseball lost to Grand Canyon last night. Like I told you can't lose a game, man. Gene was just waiting in the wings, too. He was like, damn it. They took 3 out of 4 from BYU. Damn it. I can't send that email. Wait till they lose.
But just wait. They're going to lose.
Yeah, they scored one. Yeah, they got one hit last night. Yeah. Yeah, the other guys are on scholarship. What do you want me to tell you, man? Yeah, team talk a lot, beat coach talk a lot. Okay. Yeah. Enjoy it. Like that's why you do sports, Gene. You got a good one last night. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You won last night, right? Lobo Hobo says, sounding good, Jeffy. Training at a mile high is showing its benefits. You sound strong in Vegas this morning. Do I?
It was one night. Don't get crazy. It's like beating San Jose State. Doesn't change anything. Gotta get to day 2 to see what really happened.
Wait till tomorrow.
Then you'll find out. The training paid off.
That's a really good point. P.S. What is the OD's official pick on who will cut down the women's nets at the Thomas and Mack tonight? Who you like? You like Fresno State or you like Boise State? I'm going chalk. I'm going Fresno.
Boise State.
Yeah, that's probably the pick, though. The only reason I'm going chalk is the whole tournament's been chalk, but I think Boise State's better. But I made my pick. I'm the other side, huh?
Except what happened to San Diego State.
Yeah. So the first game of the tournament and the last game of the tournament? Although then, right, because New Mexico was the first game of the tournament, weren't they? Yeah, they were. Yeah, you're probably right, but I went the other way, just because. No all-conference team, says Brant. Jeff, do you think a message is being sent to Lobo basketball and Lady Lobos? They aren't going to be rewarded for all the drama. They aren't going to be rewarded for trying to shortcut the process with mercenaries. No, I think the message was being sent that they didn't have anybody that qualified for an all-conference team because they finished as a 7th seed and a 9th seed.
Sending That's a message that the player of the year was a transfer, the newcomer year was a transfer. How dare you have transfers?
Look, did anybody else get shut out? Wyoming had a guy in honorable mention, just like New Mexico. No, I'm looking at the women's sheet. No, I'm not. Actually, so this is the official one. This is the one I'm looking at. It's not the media. So Jaquan did not even make honorable mention on the coaches' team. I don't think anybody else got totally shut out. In fact, I'm certain nobody else got totally shut out. Second team coaches, Yanni West. I gave first team. If you're just joining us, first team all conference, Mountain West. This is different than the media one that came out 2 days ago. This is yesterday. The coaches. I guess this is the official one, right? This is the one they go with because this is the release that the Mountain West put out. The Mountain West all first team: Malachi Flynn from San Diego State, Jalen Harris, Nevada, Sam Merrill, Utah State, Matt Mitchell from San Diego State, and Bryce Hamilton. So this is more like your, right? You didn't have Hamilton first team, did you?
I didn't.
But you did have Mitchell. Who was your other one? Carvaccio? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. You and I both had Carvaccio first team. He's second team on the media and the coaches list. So your first team is 2 from San Diego State, Flynn and Mitchell, with Harris, Merrill, and Hamilton. The player of the year, Malachi Flynn. Defensive Player of the Year, Malachi Flynn. I guess they decided he had too many awards because they gave Newcomer of the Year to somebody else, not him.
Well, and that was actually ended up being a big talking point, is San Diego State wasn't happy with Malachi Flynn winning Defensive Player of the Year. They wanted KJ Fagan because they put KJ Fagan on the best player on the opposing team.
Yeah. Fagan made the all-defensive team. So your all-defensive team was Flynn and Fagan. Namus Keita from Utah State, Lindsey Drew from Nevada, and then Justin Bean. Now remember, Justin Bean was second-team media. He's third team on this list, the official one. Second team's got 6 people on it. It's Yanni Wetzel from San Diego State, Namus Keita from Utah State, Nico Carvacha from Colorado State, Justinian Jessup from Boise State, Derek Olson from Boise State, and Jazz Johnson from Nevada. Johnson got a lot of love that maybe we didn't give him when we were discussing this, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then your third team is your guys who played played really, really well for teams that didn't play as well outside of Justin Bean at Utah State. Lavelle Scotty at Air Force, Seneca Knight, who you'll see tonight from San Jose State, Isaiah Stevens, the terrific freshman from Colorado State, and Amari Hardy from UNLV. Sixth man of the year, Nasiri Zuza from Nevada. Coach of the year, Brian Dutcher. That's a no-brainer. And the freshman of the year was Stevens from Colorado State. So that's the official coaches all-conference team for the Mountain West Conference. And look, we had the right guys, and there's no wrong order. So I'm hearing, by the way, for UNLV, I was talking to somebody local. You think the Rebels can make a run? No. Mitru. What's who am I thinking? The shooter.
Mitru Long.
Thank you, Mitru Long. Probably not going to play. Or if he plays, he's hurt pretty bad, from what I understand.
And that's what we were discussing yesterday when the news came out. A lot of people probably looking at who's going to be the dark horse betting if you wanted to get someone outside of San Diego State and Utah State, and everyone looked to UNLV with how they finished the season. Yeah. But that bone bruise is going to limit him, and he was huge for their offense. We gave him a different dynamic, different dimension in that backcourt, and without him, I wouldn't be very pleased if I made that bet.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Hey, I want to get in on a little secret about those huge car washes where you may take your car and spend a lot of money. Those car washes wash hundreds of cars per day, and if they don't keep their brushes clean, they can damage your paint job. Plus, you might sit in line waiting 7 minutes worth of work. That's what you get, 7 minutes worth of work. Call On the Spot Auto Detailing. On the Spot Auto Detailing doesn't use brushes. They carefully clean your vehicle inside and outside by hand. They detail your vehicle. When they're done with it, it's going to be like the day you took it off the lot, like it's brand new, and you don't have to wait in line. On the Spot Auto Detailing comes to you when it's convenient for you, where it's convenient for you, at your home or your office. They spend the time it takes to do the job right. All those stains and spills and pet hair and all that stuff that you can't figure out how to get rid of, they take care of it. This place is terrific. On the Spot Auto Detailing, 505-859-2859. Give them a call, 505-859-2859, or go to otsdetailing.com. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to excel in Las Vegas, Nevada, the day the tournament opens for the men here at the Mountain West Conference Tournament at the Thomas & Mack Center. Jeff Siembieda, J.J. Buck, glad you're with us on this beautiful Wednesday. Be part of the radio program. It's yours at 505-246-0610. That's area code 505-246-0610, or send emails. Jeff at 610knml.com or JJ at 610knml.com. We come to you dual city today. JJ back in Burque at Radio Ranch, and I'm here at the Thomas & Mack Center. I want to say thank you to the 5 great tournament sponsors who made sure that we are here for you at the conference tournament this year. Rudy Chavez, attorney at law. Remember, Saul calls Rudy. Airport parking, park for less than half the price of Sunport parking. Hooters, your college hoops headquarters. American Home Furniture and Mattress, they guarantee you'll pay less. And 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Call Clay Miller at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. All right, so you don't buy that the league's sending the Lobos a message that you can't win with mercenaries?
No.
Even though half the all-league team is transfers?
No.
KJ Fagan? Malachi Flynn? No? You're not buying it?
No, not buying it.
All right. So now that we know Mitru Long's at least injured, if you were going to pick a dark horse, and I guess it's got to be beyond the 3 seed, right?
So beyond 3?
Well, wouldn't that happen? I mean, I guess this year anybody but San Diego State would be the dark horse, and so it's easy to say, well, Utah State or Nevada could win this thing, right? But if you were going to go beyond 3, is there a team that you say is playing well? Is it Boise State? Is it New Mexico? Is it Colorado State? Is there one? There doesn't have to be one.
If I had to pick someone outside of 3, I would probably actually go with the Lobos.
Okay. You know what would be fun?
The Colorado State and New Mexico.
Yeah, I might have to go Colorado State, although they're on the other side of the draw, right?
If you look at Colorado State, you get Nevada, and then you go into the semifinals against
Utah State or New Mexico.
Most likely Utah State or New Mexico in that point in time. They'd feel very, very good about that draw.
Well, I guess it just comes down to, do you think, if I told you which dark shirt would you feel more likely to win, Colorado State over Nevada or New Mexico over Utah State? That's what that
Colorado
comes down
State,
to. Yeah, and that's why I would go Colorado State. I think that's really what that comes down to, right? That's that conversation. Steve Alford usually performs. His team's usually well here and in this tournament, so it's going to be interesting. But you know what would be a really fun Friday night? A really fun Friday night would be New Mexico versus Nevada after San Diego State UNLV. Like, the place would rock, right?
Be good energy in that building.
Because San Diego State is going to travel. They typically travel. I think, after the UNLV crowds and then what New Mexico has always brought here, San Diego State, because it's a relatively short drive, it's the one place San Diego State will travel. San Diego, I've talked to you plenty about what I refer to as geographical arrogance, and understandably so, right? Why would they go anywhere? But because this team is ranked 5th in the country, because their team is currently projected to be a number 1 seed, because they're having the single best regular season in the history of that program, which is no exaggeration at all, they're going to travel well. And if you could put them in UNLV's building on Friday night to play UNLV, and then have New Mexico, and I still think there's going to be a decent Lobo contingency because this is an annual pilgrimage for so many, up against Steve Alford on Friday night. That'd be something else, wouldn't it?
I'd sign up for that.
Yeah, no, I'll be here. In fact, I got a guy I probably can get you a pass.
Ooh,
get yourself.
I'll hop on the bus right now. See you there.
Get on the bus, Gus. No need to be coy, Roy. No need to discuss much. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. So that's all the Mountain West stuff. I think we're in a good place there, right?
Yes.
All right. Do you see Chicago State is not going to play their final 2 WAC games?
I did.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure how the WAC is handling that, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're calling them forfeits or no contests. But Chicago State, of every team in America that you thought would jump out in front of this, right? It's the school that Jerry told us last week. He doesn't even understand why that university is still open. But Chicago State was the team that says, nope, coronavirus, we're canceling. We're not sending our teams. Now, there's active cases in Seattle, but they're also not accepting the teams coming in to play their women's teams. So Chicago State men's basketball team will not go to Seattle and the Utah Valley. The school, in a statement, said that it was making the move with health and well-being of the campus community in mind. And the WAC did not comment. The WAC had they in fact declined comment, which makes me feel that they're not very happy about it.
Yeah, and the Chicago State is still evaluating if they want to attend the WAC tournament. Right. You understand going to the state of Washington, which is kind of ground zero right now for the coronavirus
in America,
in the United States. But this, to me, also feels like the first step of Chicago State not playing another Division I basketball game.
Ever.
They're 4-25 overall, 0-14 in the WAC.
Yeah,
like they just can't do it anymore.
I didn't even realize they'd won 4 games, but then we looked back and saw who they played. Remember when we did that?
The women's team was 1-26.
Yeah,
like it's just it's not fair to anyone there or the rest of Division I to say, hey, put this team on your schedule.
Yeah, I think that's right. Dixie State join the WAC next year?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's next year, and then Tarleton State, I believe, is joining the WAC after that. If I'm not mistaken, Tarleton's very successful. Well, both those are successful athletic programs at their divisions, and they're moving up into the WAC. This isn't necessarily about Chicago State, although it is because Chicago State's the first program to cancel games, cancel travel, cancel events because of this. I think the bigger picture is who's next and how many will be next.
1 minute.
You've got conference tournaments going on all over America now and next week, and then the NCAA tournament. You got the Masters in Major League Baseball, and like every event has got to put in a contingency for it, and every team, every travel, every travel party, every league. I mean, do you see this being the first of many?
Possibly, especially in March. Already hitting tournaments. You're at the Mountain West tournament. There's a lot of other conference tournaments going on. Then it gets going next week. So
30.
Well, a team at 4-25, I can see doing it, but I can't see a team at 25-4 doing it. Can you?
No.
Duke's not going to do it.
I
don't think. Chicago State, maybe. Ohio State, probably not. 505-246-0610. Opening drives in Las Vegas and Albuquerque. Want to hear from you. Adam Deal at 9:15. We'll talk high school hoops at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lescombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981, formerly known as St. Clair.
Boy, game day. We are in Vegas. We are in Albuquerque. We have you covered. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. I'm at the Thomas & Mack Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It's where the Mountain West men's basketball tournament will tip off today. The ladies will conclude and crown a champion and send somebody to the NCAA tournament. Fresno State and Boise State on the ladies' side, the 1 and 2 seeds, will go at each other tonight. Winner will go to the NCAA tournament. The men start today, and the Lobos will play at 2:30. Local time, 3:30 New Mexico time. You can listen to the game. Lobos in San Jose State. The 7-10 game over on 96.3 News Radio KKOB. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green will have the call. Pre-game show starts at 3 o'clock. No TJ Trout over there today. Jeff Siembieda in Vegas, JJ Buck in Albuquerque. Josh is producing for you on ProView Networks, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com and on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. Micah produces the show for you on the audio side. All right, JJ, what was the talk when the Lobos were having all the drama and the suspensions throughout the season? The reason was what, according to so many people?
The coaching?
And the transfers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mercenaries, as I hear a lot. All right, so I was just during the break thumbing through the official program here, the Mountain West Conference Championship, the Air Force Reserve Championship program. And on page 8, there is a big spread. It's really the only story about basketball. It's got all the rosters, and talks about the league and the initiatives of the league, and it's a very, very nice publication. And there's a story on page 8 and 9, and JJ, who's the number 1 seed in the league again?
San Diego State.
What are they ranked again?
Like 5 now?
Yeah, and Jerry Palm and Joe Lenardi project them where again in bracketology?
A number 1 seed.
I don't believe the Mountain West ever had a 1 seed, have they? The answer is no. So they have a pretty good year, right? Okay, can I read you the headline? I don't even need to put my glasses on for this one. The headline in the story: Trio of transfers power Dutchers Aztecs to milestone season. You and I have talked about this ad nauseum, and I think the majority of people get it. A few years ago, we talked about how this league particularly is going to rely on transfers. Now it's not just this league. It's college basketball. Go take a look at Oregon's roster. Go take a look at pick your Power Fives, right? Certainly the teams at the non-Power 6 in basketball level are going to rely on transfers. There's 900, 1,000, 1,100 players in the transfer portal every year. An average of 3+ players per year per team utilize the transfer portal. But we were told, JJ, that the reason that UNM was struggling was because they had so many transfers. Now, I will agree that the mix of transfers, the personalities obviously was an issue. But for those who are screaming that they can't be this way and you can't have these mercenaries, it's just you've got to get beyond that. And there is a way to do it, and there is a mix, and there is look. There's no science to it. There's luck to it. There's how are these young men going to handle the change, and some are going to be on second chance. But there is proof that this works, right? Nevada going to the Sweet 16 2 years ago, same thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, and the situation for the Lobos, I know we've talked with people about maybe there was some uneasiness still when the team was 15-3, but there was nothing wrong with basketball. It was all off the court issues that derailed this team from the start. And that's what it comes down to is who are you giving a second, in some cases a third chance to on your basketball team? Because not every transfer is created equally. Just because you're transferring doesn't mean you're going to go blow up something, be a locker room cancer, not be able to fit in to a basketball team. Because basketball-wise, this group was getting by. They were fine on the court. It was the stuff that happened off the court and the stuff that actually happened even before the season started that we found out about that came out. And in some cases, you're still waiting for a final answer other than the guys just not being on the basketball team anymore.
Well, it's funny. I was looking through, because your point's so right. Basketball-wise, this wasn't an issue. But as we know, this goes way beyond basketball. I guess it feels like it was so long ago. But I was going through the notes for this game. And once you put something in the notes, it stays there. Undefeated December. The Lobos officially finished December undefeated with a perfect 7-0 record. Last time UNL posted 7-0 was 2011-2012. Lobos were undefeated at home. All these great numbers. Here's the deal, and I'm not telling you I know the science because I don't think any coach does. But the way San Diego State put it together, they went out and they found transfers that worked for them. Personality-wise worked. Really good basketball players, by the way. Malachi Flynn from Washington State wanted to come down and play in San Diego. And you always look at why are guys leaving, right? Why did Yanni Wetzel leave Vanderbilt in the SEC and go to San Diego State? Well, he's likes to surf. By the way, he's a pretty good basketball player. And they were what were they? 0-7. They lost 17 in a row at one point last year, right?
Vanderbilt was very bad at basketball last year.
Yeah, they were there, and so we wanted to go somewhere and have a chance to play and win. San Diego's a pretty good place to recruit to, and they had a good culture. KJ Fagan went to Long Beach Poly, where Tony Gwynn went to school, and he was up at Santa Clara, and he wanted another opportunity. So these guys worked. Why did the guys come to New Mexico? And there's other reasons. There weren't many more chances for Carlton Bragg. And I'm not telling you don't take a chance. But I think when you're taking a chance on a guy, you probably can't. I don't know, JJ. Is this? And if I'm out of turn, tell me. You probably aren't. The formula can't be. You've got 2 or 3 or 4 guys that you're taking chances on. Does that make sense? As far as
well, it makes sense with everything that's happened this year, and we run down the list of Caldwell, Bragg, even Lyle's situations, the decisions that he's made, but he's still playing basketball to this
40
point.
minutes the other night.
And then what we found out is that Paul Ware gave these guys so much room. He wanted to believe in them. He wanted to give them ownership of this team, and then it all just fell apart. So I think not necessarily you can't have X amount of guys that you're taking chances on. It comes down to
it's who they are.
What level of accountability is there from the coach? What is he putting in place that has these guys on the same page? Because I think players are going to go out. They're going to make certain decisions. But still, when you have this many hit at once, it was hard to wrap your head around it. I think Paul Ware, his head was spinning for a while until the last couple weeks when he locked back in on everything. So to me, it starts and ends with the coach and the coaching staff. If you bring in multiple guys that weren't just transferring to transfer, were dismissed from the previous university.
I think that's fair, right? A Steve Alford, a Bobby Knight, a Bob Huggins, a Mick Cronin personality coach who's going to be much more disciplined. Or give me the right word. Because I don't want to bash on Paul.
Accountability, because he gave them room. He said that he didn't have a curfew. He wasn't having checks every single night, and he believed in these guys, and it got away from him. And to that point, though, it also, outside of the Lyle party situation, and then when Carlton Bragg got hit, the Caldwell and Bragg situations happened before the season, and
they happened over the summer.
And you still want to say, well, where's your accountability, this or that? I think there's still that little bit of a difference between being in season, knowing your day-to-day routine, the expectations, versus something that happens over the summer.
So what is accountability? And I think you're right. And I wonder how much Paul's going to change. And it feels like he tried to change in the last month, correct? We watched Wegscheider start because other guys didn't want it as much, and then they were running stairs, and guys were pounding, and Vontae Hendricks was left at home on a road trip, but then he played a little bit the next game. So we're watching Paul where it went from, well, there really aren't any rules and any curfews to, well, I'm not going to put up with this. And you've got to be consistent, right? That's the bottom line. Parent, coach, boss, just be consistent. Let me know the rules, but don't change midstream on me. And it's going to be interesting to see how Paul evolves the coach. When we have a conversation with Paul a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks from now, and we look back on the season and ask, what did you learn this year? I'm going to tell you that's probably going to be what it is, and how he deals with players. And it comes back to, JJ, the conversation, I tell you, I hear a lot from the Bull coaches, right? I'm going to treat you like a man until you give me a reason to not treat you like a man. I'm going to treat you like a child. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to respect you, I'm going to trust you, I'm going to treat you like a man until you give me a reason not to. Or I'm going to trust you until you give me a reason not to. And I'm fine with that. If you want a one strike and you're out policy, or one strike and I'm going to change the way it is, I'm good with that. But you got to be consistent with it. And you can't let that dude get away with all kinds of stuff while that guy is doing something different. It may have worked for Bill Parcells at pro football level. I don't believe it works at this level, and especially when you've got so many different personalities with the baggage that they've got, and guys that, bottom line is, who was it that told us? I'm trying to remember who it was that said, young men, they want structure. They want structure. Why is Mike Krzyzewski, Bobby Knight, why are these guys that you hear are so hard on their players revered for the lifetime after the student athlete leaves the school, right?
Structure.
How loyal? Right, structure. You made me a man. Yeah, it was tough then, but you made me a man. You hear it all the time, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard when you're going through it, and it's hard when you've got to sit a player down, and it's hard when that player parent calls, right? But I think that's where this whole thing has to go. And I guess the point of the segment was, it's not you can't have transfers, because you must have transfers. Don't you agree with that? You must.
Yeah,
in this day and age.
It's a part of college athletics.
Yes. But you have to do it the right way. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Want your thoughts. If you're just joining us, we're in Vegas. JJ's in Albuquerque. Lobos and San Jose State today. Your feeling on the game today? It's a 9-point spread. Lobos are favored by 9. What you think about that? I want to get into how about Kentucky getting beat last night. Lobo football's on the table for you. Marshawn Lynch is going to be a speaker at Princeton. They're not happy about that for some reason. We got baseball stuff to do. Lots to do. Adam Deal's going to be here, right, in about an hour?
That's what we're expecting.
All right. Is he bringing food?
Probably not.
Kidding. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Monday here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Thomas & Mack Center. Lobos open up the conference tournament. First round is what they call it. Some of you call it a play-in game. Either way, they're playing San Jose State for the right to move on to play Utah State tomorrow in the quarterfinals of the Mountain West Conference tournament here at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. Jeff Siembieda here. JJ Buck back at Radio Ranch in downtown Albuquerque. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. You can be part of the show. Due to the inventive genius of Mr. Alexander Graham Bell, you can be connected to the opening drive at 505-246-0610 on your telephone. JJ, I want to wrap up a conversation from the last segment about discipline and coaching, and I think it happens at all levels, and I want to bring it to a local level. And you know, I used to coach some middle school in AAU with a guy I think is as good an AAU coach as I've ever seen locally, Mike Danoff. And Steve Davis over at ProView is coached with Mike. I coached with Steve and Mike for years, and I watched the discipline that he instilled. And some of these young men didn't have much at home. Some had some, but he was hard on them, JJ. We would run them. You know, we had rules. You did this, and if you didn't do this, you ran. If you didn't do this, you didn't play. They knew. They knew what would constitute sitting out a half or a game or running. And I see these now young men, years later, we run into them, and I see how thankful. And they tell Mike all the time, "You're the best coach I ever had. You instilled responsibility in me. You instilled discipline in me." And that's what I'm talking about. When you hear these guys that played for some of these legendary coaches, and even some not legendary coaches who they claim made them men, it makes me believe when I hear that young men are looking for structure. They're looking for the discipline. They're yearning for it. You know, tell me what my environment is. Give me the rules and let me figure it out. And I think that's how we've all grown up. And you know, maybe I think that's what people feel was lacking in this year's club.
And I'm with you. I agree that with what you said a little bit earlier about the kind of the one strike, two strike, and then I'm going to change. And I think Paul really wanted guys to take ownership of the team this year. And it wasn't one where he was going in the years with deflections for the starting lineup. He felt that he knew who his starting five was going to be. He was going to give them ownership. And especially the Lyle piece of this puzzle has fascinated me this entire season because he's been here since day one.
I know.
With Paul Weir. So I'm sure that there was a lot of trust that was built up back and forth. And Lyle has been a guy, not just you talk to the coaching staff, but people that have been at practice. I've seen it before at the practices that I attended before this season. He was a guy that was calling things out, being a leader, being a voice. He does know basketball. But yet there was just something that happened this year, like midway through the season, and it wasn't just, he's taking bad shots, he's doing a little bit too much here or there. It just felt like there was a disconnect, and then you got to that night of the party, and then it all kind of trickled down after that with Lyle specifically, but then you can just go from the micro to the macro look at this team, and you can see it, like Paul Weir wanting to give ownership, but then it getting away from him, and then having to reassert himself, and people are going to look at that and say, well, that's just a bad coach. No, it was a mistake. And to your point, it was, hey, I'm giving you the opportunity. I will trust you until I can't trust you anymore. And it just felt like maybe that ball rolled a little too far away from him before he was able to roll it back into a point of going, all right, guys, this is what is happening right now, and this is what Lobo basketball is going to be.
See, I think you're dead on. And I think Paul learned a lot this year. I'm not telling you he's learning on the job, because I think every coach, from a Steve Alford to a John Wooden, they'll all tell you they learn something every year. But I think Paul realized that he had an older team this year, that he had leaders. And I can't agree with you more. I think he had complete trust in Jaquan to be a leader. And Carlton Bragg had been, by all accounts, a great citizen since he'd been here. J.J. Caldwell, he had 23, 24-year-old men, right? I mean, 22-year-old, 21. This was an older veteran team. And I think you are absolutely right that he wanted to rely on team leaders to lead in a larger respect. Now, obviously, the coaching staff's got to take the reins on that, but I think that was the plan. And there's part of me, and I know this is going to maybe rub some of you the wrong way, I feel bad for Paul in a respect where I think they let him down. Yeah. I think that the plan going in was I fostered relationships with these young men. To your point, Jaquan's been here for 3 years. Carlton had been here 2. That he's fostered relationships where he trusted them to do the right thing the right way, whatever the right way was, right? And they let him down. They let him down.
They did. And you look at the guys that they were expecting to lead the way, and it was someone that they were actually worried about. And I know Zane Martin was the guy that they were wondering, can we keep him on track? What are we going to do to have him be available the entire season? And he actually ended up being one of the more valuable pieces just because he was available in the way that he was able to play and then keep them afloat at times this year.
And you can make the argument, too, that Paul let them down. And I'll listen to that as well, by the way, because Paul needed to adjust when things went awry. He and that coaching staff needed to step in and, as I said, strike one. All right, I'm going to change. This is how it is. I'm going to trust you until I can't trust you anymore. And I just don't think that he anticipated having to go down that route. I think he anticipated this is a mature, veteran, older club that they're going to be able to police themselves and lead themselves, and I'm not going to have to get in here. And then he did have to. And you can make the argument that he didn't do a good enough job of that. I'm sure he would listen to that.
Yeah, but also too how things were going until the off-season incidents came to light.
Yep.
Because we always look and say, well, Caldwell and Bragg, well that stuff happened, and the coaching staff knew that it had happened. So they were going through the first half of the season by giving these guys that opportunity, winning at least 15 games to that point in time, before those stories broke. So that's another dynamic into it where, all right, they knew some stuff had occurred, hadn't hit yet, hadn't popped. So how are these guys handling it? And then once it did, you really started to see everything unravel.
Yeah, and then when you start peeling back, and look, you don't want stuff to get out, but you're always worried it's going to get out. And how do you handle it? And I think the issues surfaced during basketball season because that's when lawyers became involved. That's when alleged victims went to authorities. That's when things became public. And it's just, the Caldwell and Bragg thing hit at the same time. But yeah, there's a lot to it. As I look at this, I think there's culpability on both sides, and I've told you flat out, I think the players have got to assume responsibility. We've had people call and say, nope, it's on the coaches, and they've got to set the line, and they do. There's absolutely there's responsibility on the coach and the coaching staff. But I firmly believe that Paul expected and looked at this team, because we've talked about how he's coached them differently, right? How much different did he coach this team than he coached year one, right? When he didn't have a veteran team, he was much more discipline-oriented, right? And I keep going back to leaving Antono Jackson at home and taking 6 scholarship players up to Utah State because we had a problem in practice, and he benched him for a game and didn't take him on the trip. All season long, guys were getting benched. You didn't know, to the point where people were losing their mind. Who's going to play? Who's going to play? Kind of how we are now, right?
And here we are,
kind of in the same place. All right, we'll go to the phones when we get back. I got to take this break. 505-246-0610. If you're there, we're going to get there. Adam Deal's going to be with us coming up at the 9:15 mark. We'll talk high school basketball with Adam from ProView Networks. I want to let you know about New Mail and what they do because, guys, here's some truth. There is a men's health clinic that's right there in Albuquerque. Can help you feel like you again. It's called New Mail, and it deals with low energy, low T, lack of energy, erectile dysfunction. You just got to pick up the phone and call them. New Mail's helping thousands of men all over the country. Guys are feeling better, and they've been doing it for years. New Mail's the leader when it comes to men's health. They've got the cutting-edge technology, the latest treatments. New Mail's helping men deal with depression, hair loss, ED. Just pick up the phone and call them at 505-652-1688, 505-652-1688, or go to newmail, NUMALE.com. More truth for you. Men reach a certain age, low T, ED, lack of energy are all natural. But that doesn't mean you've got to live with it. And it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. Call New Mail at 505-652-1688. The process is comfortable from the phone call to your first visit to the treatment, and the results are real. Do yourself a favor. Take care of you. Call New Mail at 505-652-1688 or visit newmail.com and feel better.
beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's
Game day here in Las Vegas. Lobos will play San Jose State first round of the men's Air Force Reserve Conference Tournament. 7:10 game, 3 o'clock over on News Radio KKOB is when Hunter Green and Robert Portnoy will crack the microphone from Albertson's Radio Row. You get game over on your flagship station for Lobo Athletics, News Radio KKOB. Jeff Siembieda in Las Vegas, JJ Buck back at Radio Ranch in Albuquerque. Want to say thank you to our 5 great conference tournament sponsors who made sure we're here for you this week. Hooters is your college hoops headquarters. Airport parking, park for less than half the price of Sunport parking. Rudy Chavez, attorney at law. Remember, Saul calls Rudy. American Home Furniture and Mattress, they guarantee you'll pay less. And 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Call attorney Clay Miller at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. All right, got a couple lines open? 2 lines open at 505-246-0610. All right, let's go to it. Lance, I saw Elvis walking down the street. Thought of you. I'm not even sure why. What's up? Hello, Lance.
Los Lobos. It's Pelvis, baby. Lance, I escaped from him. But pat him down before you take him upstairs. In Vegas, you never know.
Easy.
Hey, man, dude walking on a rope over a volcano, live TV. Part of you is hoping he's falling in. You know, he's shaking the TV, you know, blowing at his feet, tickling at his feet, hoping he falls in.
What the hell are you saying?
Yeah, he's walking over a volcano on a little wire, on a rope tonight.
Okay.
So I'd like to see him fall in. So you're really rooting for the Lobos?
I saw it. Now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Christmas. Well, anyway, the guy walking over a volcano on the rope.
Yeah. You want to see him fall in?
Yeah, absolutely. Damn. But anyway, so you're really, rooting for the Lobos so you get another day in Sin City.
I'm staying here until my flight leaves. No, I'm not coming home. I'm here all week.
I was just going to say, the checkout time was an hour ago, but we'll bill you for the minibar. I mean, you can't help yourself. You're sitting there, I drink down at the, they'll get you for them. And when you're flying back, if oxygen masks fall in the plane, just knock the person out next to you so you can get their oxygen too. I mean, that could be your last.
All right. So I want a guy to follow.
All right, let's dissect this. We got a volcano walker tonight, which it probably won't be exciting if they're putting it on television, right?
Yeah. And then steal your neighbor's.
Because the guy's not going to fall into lava, and they're going to immediately just cut to black and throw it back to the studio show. Who's breaking that down, by the way? Who's an analyst on that? Like, he just tripped off the wire and he fell in the lava.
Oh, look, he's wobbling. He's wobbling. Yeah. All right. I don't even. That was something today. Even for Lance scale, that was something today. Brutus, good morning. You're on the opening drive.
Good morning, guys. Is Lance sitting out there in some bar in Vegas right now? Is that where the call came from?
Possibly.
It might be, man. Goodness gracious.
Hey, I heard both your guys' take, and, I don't feel sorry for Paul Ware, okay? Jeff, you mentioned your coaching experience. I've managed young people. JJ probably there has had some dealings in management. In all your years of coaching, okay, I think you recognized when somebody was out of control or not being a team player, and I think you came out and said something about it. Paul Ware, how many years of experience does he have as a coach, assistant and otherwise? Maybe over 10?
Well, certainly north of 10, yeah.
Okay, early in the season, from game one, I had people sitting around me in the pit telling me, oh, no, that Lyle character, I don't know. I don't know. He's got to be reined in. Okay, early in the season, Lobo basketball fans were recognizing that the team was out of sync because one player was being allowed to do whatever he wanted. And the thing is, Paul Ware, he didn't react to that. Okay, he did not react to that. The first season he had discipline, he had structure, he demanded defense, demanded hard play, or else he didn't play. Okay, the last 2 seasons that wasn't the case, and that's on Paul Ware, and I don't feel sorry for him because it's not the sweater, it's the attitude. Okay, he threw on that red sweater, takes on a different attitude with the players. He's gonna use his psychology degree managing a team of alpha dogs, and I think he bit off more than he could chew. Okay, and I don't feel sorry for him. He should have reacted early in the season, and perhaps we wouldn't be sitting here in the play-in game for our Lobos. Paul Ware's to blame. He was not. Ware and his staff were not accountable. They are not accountable to this team, and they failed this team.
All right, Brutus. And look, there's absolute accountability. He's not completely off, and I don't think you and I have absolved the coaching staff from accountability for what happened this season, right?
Absolutely. I don't feel sorry for Paul Weir. I can look at the situation and see how it got here from what he wanted to do as a coach in this team, and then it all got away from him. But it is on him ultimately as a head coach. So I'm in a boat. I don't feel sorry, but I can see how it happened and then how he is then reacting to it.
There's part of me that feels bad for him. There is. I'm not going to lie to you. That doesn't mean he's not responsible for it. That doesn't mean I think he should have reacted differently. I feel like these players let him down. He put trust in these players, and I feel that they let him down. Now, did he let them down by not circling the wagons quicker and clamping down? Yeah, that's probably right as well. I think they can both be true. But it's going to be interesting, and I look forward to talking to Paul about that when it's all said and done, about, because he is so cerebral, the psychology of this past season and what happened and why it happened and how it happened. And because I firmly believe that he went into this thing with a veteran team, with young men with whom he has established strong relationships and trust. I believe they let him down, and he probably didn't want to believe it was happening, but maybe he thought it was a one-time thing because he had so much trust over the last couple of years, and was slow to change, to ratchet up the discipline, for lack of a better term. That's what I believe happened, JJ. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. And can they turn this thing around and make a run and make everybody feel better? Is there anything short of winning this thing that's going to make people feel better?
Not about everything that's really transpired this season for Lobo basketball.
What if you lose to San Diego State on Saturday night? What if you're in the championship game?
A little bit?
Yeah, I don't think so, because then basketball's over. You're not playing the NIT. You're over. It's over.
It's done. So it's still going to look back on what could have been, because it was the ultimate season of what ifs for this Lobo basketball team. But to the sweater point, it was a pink sweater Saturday night that Paul was wearing when they beat Utah State. Did he come out in
pink today?
Is that the difference? It wasn't the Mr. Rogers sweater. So was he a different person wearing the pink sweater?
So does he come out in pink today? Superstitious?
Different attitude at the pink sweater.
Ooh, I get it. Pink, to be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. I got it. All right, 505-246-0610. Be part of it. Want your takes. Bad Street says Lancer is the OD answer, Jeff. Lance is the one who sounded like he was up at 4:30 this morning to do the opening drive. Yes, he did. Yes, that was a different Lance today. Want to hear from you. Adam Thiel's going to be with us. We'll talk high school sports coming up in a half hour on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our 6th-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings.
All right. we got a game day today, and want to hear your thoughts on what kind of run they make today in this tournament to the Lobos. San Jose State's the opponent. 7:10 game. News Radio KKOB. 3 o'clock pregame show this afternoon from the Thomas and Mack Center. I'm here in Las Vegas. JJ's in Albuquerque. You can watch the show on ProView Networks, ProViewNetworks.com, our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and across the state on Comcast Channel 26, of course, 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Jack sent an email, Jeff at 610knml.com, JJ. Says, tired OD takes. Jeff, I need to make a list. Near the top is this idea that because Mr. Rogers isn't losing weight and having a miserable time at home, he is not as engaged with Lobo basketball as he was in his first season. I'm down with that. Right?
I agree.
Just because he's not miserable personally doesn't mean...
You know who broke a clipboard last night and I was watching his friend McCaffrey? And then Iowa still lost to Purdue.
Really?
But he broke a clipboard. And that should have changed the game, and it didn't.
He was emotional. You mean he wasn't just sitting in a crouch and watching the game?
He broke a clipboard, stood up, and walked out of the huddle.
Look, this whole notion that you know how a guy's coaching because you can see his demeanor it bothers me beyond reproach. And it goes back to the whole Rocky Long thing where when people hear we're tiring on Rocky during the 4-8 season and he just stands there and he doesn't do anything. What do you mean he doesn't do anything? Well, he just stands there with his arms crossed. You know what he did for the last 10 years? Stood there with his arms crossed in San Diego and won league championships and bowl games and became the second winningest coach in the history of that program and got him to 10 straight bowl games for the first time in the history of that program. John Wooden, did you see him yelling and screaming? He was a pretty good coach, wasn't he?
He did a pretty darn good job coaching basketball.
And this whole thing where Paul, I don't know if he's invested. He used to lose sleep and lose weight, and then they were winning. But now he's not miserable at home anymore, and he needs to put more into his job. Shut up, because stop it. Should you be miserable at your job or at home? So you're doing a better job at work? Is that how that's supposed to work?
Let me tell
you
how miserable I am at home.
Well, I can see it in your work. I mean, your work's gotten a lot better. Your work has got. I mean, you've become unbelievable at home. I mean, at work.
Broadcasting is so much better because my home life is trash.
Yeah, that's right. I just don't get it. Sometimes I just don't understand. All right, 505-246-0610. That's how to get in today. 888-922-0610. Spring practice started for football this week. It's going on over at the football facility, the complex, the fields, the indoor, the stadium, all of that stuff. Mean Machine says, oh, here we go. Where are the snaps going to come from, JJ? No way Gonzalez names a starter coming out of spring, right, Jeff? He's got to make it look like all three quarterbacks are in the mix to keep the other two from heading straight to the transfer portal on April 5th, right? P.S. Is this the best weather you've ever had in Vegas? Did you take your clubs? Did not take my clubs. Typically have decent weather here. No, typically do, but I don't know. This is all right weather. It's good. Do you think you have a quarterback? Because I don't. Starting quarterback coming out of spring? I think you've got a first-string guy, but I don't think he names a starter. I think you've got a guy that's leading the way.
I don't think that there will be a starter named. I'm sure that Derek Wareheim, the offense coordinator, and Danny will have a powwow, and they'll have a front runner in mind of who's going to be taking the majority of the snaps, at least to start fall practice ahead of the season. But I also don't expect either guy to transfer.
I don't either.
Like if it's Tuioti, I don't think he's going anywhere. Trey Hall, like Brent Hughes, I don't think that if just one of those guys wasn't named the starter, that would see one or two of those guys transfer at this point in time. Heck, Brent Hughes is still trying to get healthy from his shoulder injury.
Well, with all due respect, and this is not meant to be discerning to either any of those three. What's the market for them? Like if they decide to get into the transfer portal,
probably the quote unquote step down to D2 JUCO. Because you look at the quarterback that transferred from Wyoming. Was it Vanderwall? The one that
Vanderwall did, and Austin Carter Samuels did.
But no, I mean the one this year.
And I think Vanderwall did.
And he went to Idaho State, and that's other than if you really want to play,
you're going to see him. You're going to see him open up.
You're going to see him open. But my point is, like these guys, they really want to play, and they want to go to an Idaho State or an Idaho or somewhere along those lines. But I don't see any of these guys leaving just because right now, because they all took part in last season. They all took snaps last season, so they know it can happen.
The whole you don't name a starter because the other guys are going to transfer. I mean, if that's the reason you're not going to name a starter, you don't want that guy around here anyway, right? I mean, I just do you want someone who wants to be part of this program, or do you want someone as soon as there's adversity is going to run? But I just don't think the market's that great. Like let's just say Tavaka said, "All right, I'm done." Where's he going? I mean, UCLA's not knocking down his door. Cal isn't knocking down his door. Where's he going? To your point, is he going to Portland State? Is he going to Sacramento State? Where's he going? So I'm not too worried about that. But I think they come out of spring with a front runner, but not a starting quarterback.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm interested in a lot more than the quarterback. Although the quarterback, I mean, obviously, this program and every program, right? This is not unique to this program. How important the quarterback position is. But I'm interested
1 minute.
And when I get back, going out to practice and seeing some of the practice, what they're going to run with this new offense, with the new everything. And as Danny said, this is going to be a new attitude. Like, they don't realize how hard they're going to work. How this team adjusts. And let's go back to the conversation we were having. Everybody wants structure. Yep. They're going to have structure, right? Young men want structure. There's going to be structure. Now, there's going to be a hell of a lot more structure than there might have been. And I'm not telling you there wasn't before, because I think there was. But different structure. Let's see how these guys respond to that. Do they really want it? You know what I'm saying?
30.
I hear you.
All right. Do I hear music, Mike? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right. Adam Deal's going to be with us coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. We'll talk some high school sports. State tournament starts on Friday for the girls and on Saturday for the boys. They'll be all throughout the pit next week, so it's an exciting
15.
with him coming up at 9:15. It's yours when we come back. If you want to get in, 505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Well, we enter the final hour of the first day of the men's side of the bracket here at the Mountain West Conference Tournament in Las Vegas. Jeff Siembieda at the Thomas & Mack Center. J.J. Buck back at Radio Ranch in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Micah produces the radio side. Josh on ProView Network, so you can watch the show worldwide, ProViewNetworks.com. 25.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Game day for the Lobos. You're telling 9-point favorite?
9-point favorites.
And you like the Lobos,
like the Lobos
laying the points today.
I do.
It's a big number in a conference tournament, no?
It is. But I'm on the Lobos today.
All right. I hear you. I'm listening
Turn in
to
that
you.
slip for me.
All right.
Get that ticket.
All right.
I got you.
Turn
I
it
owe
in
you.
for you. How much? Yeah, just send me how much you want
You
me
know
to
where
put
I
down.
work.
I know where you live. No, I get an
Well,
idea.
I'm not worried about that because that's on the other side of town. I don't think you'd make it over there. So.
Going out there. It's fair enough. All right. Mean Machine says, wait, what is that? That's a totally different one. Why can't I get over here? All right. Without saying a word, first thing Gonzalez brings up is the demand that players play and practice hard. You guys are the ones bringing up the family life this morning. When I bring up putting on the sweater, I'm talking about putting on an attitude. The demand for defense and hard play disappeared up to the last couple of games. That was Brutus. So, yeah.
Okay.
The sweater. It's all about the sweater. I got it. All right. Elsewhere in the world, by the way, there's other things going on. Did you know that?
No.
Yesterday was
Please
Super Tuesday.
inform me.
What? There's I didn't do well in North Carolina. In California,
Heck
I
happened
did
in
well.
Texas.
Texas got away a little bit. The establishment came out. They had a big rally, and the people bought into the establishment. We've got a movement, a revolution, whatever. Crazy little Super Tuesday, huh?
It was.
Yeah. Lars says the best of Hefe. The ProView guys have put together quite a collection of Siembieda pictures. Really?
On
What the hell's
ProView.
going on there?
They're good.
Josh has been doing a great job.
So if they're good, that means they're really not good for me.
The one that's up right now is very nice.
Good. They've been
50-50.
classy.
This is your NMSA award photo. Looking very, very dapper.
Would you just
Nice
Google
gray
search my
suit.
images or what?
Yeah.
There was a photo that he put up a little bit earlier I'd never seen before. It was like Jeff with decent amount of hair at that point in time. Interviewing somebody. Was it like a TV shot? I don't know.
Had to be in the first years of the New Mexico Bowl.
Caught me off guard.
Really?
Wow, look at that.
So you just Google imaged me and you're just putting up, like, why didn't we bring a GoPro out here? Why didn't we bring one of you guys just to take care of business from
Looking
here?
good, though.
See?
Looking good.
Next year.
Yeah, I'll bet not. I'll bet you found some of the most unflattering stuff you could find.
They've all been good.
I've seen what you do. I see how you put up pictures of people. Man, don't worry. I got people now. I got people. All right. You're happy with it, JJ? Split screening it and just putting up pictures? Is that what he's doing?
Looking good.
That's beautiful.
It's like talking to a cardboard cutout.
Is it really? But the cardboard cutout's somewhat talking back, isn't it? And that's when you know you got problems.
Yeah.
I wonder if cardboard cutouts talk back to Lance. I'm just asking.
Today?
Oh,
Today
all
they
of a
might
sudden
have.
you guys go silent on me?
Today they might have.
Yeah, today was... I hope he's okay. That's my only concern. I just honestly hope he's okay today. All right, we got other stuff here at the Mountain West. The first game today is going to be the 8-9 game. That is Fresno State and Air Force. That'll be at 1 o'clock Mountain Time. And then the Lobos play the 7-10 game at 2:30 here, 3:30 back at home. And then Colorado State, Wyoming will play 6 o'clock Mountain Time. That'll be the 6-11 game. And after that, you get the women's championship game, and it'll be Fresno State, Boise State. Winner will go to the NCAA tournament. So that's what's going on here. The Aggies will play their senior night and their regular season finale next I'm sorry, tomorrow night down at the Pan Am Center. Cal Baptist will be in town, and it's New Mexico State aiming for an unbeaten conference season. They and Dayton are the only two teams in the country who are unbeaten in their respective leagues. They and Dayton share the nation's longest winning streak. Has Dayton played this week? Am I missing something? They're both at 18, correct? Did I miss a Dayton game?
I don't think you've missed one yet.
They're both at 18, right? All right, so they're both at 18. Last night in the NBA, what did I miss in the NBA last night? I know I saw Lakers playing. Who did I see them playing last night?
They beat Philadelphia.
Oh,
Anthony
that's
Davis,
a good win for them.
37-13, just stepping up, taking over. The Sixers still without Embiid and Simmons, so you'd expect them to win that game at home.
Well, they're on the road, so they lose.
And they're on the road.
Yeah.
But AD,
I did catch the Spike Lee.
Nuggets losing to the Warriors because, of course, Denver. Good job.
What the hell? What the heck? I did catch the Spike Lee conversation. You see him on ESPN yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
So that is one of the most bizarre, weird little stories because Spike Lee's been sitting in those seats at Madison Square Garden, he said, for 28 years. And there's part of you that says, well, Spike, I mean, go in the damn door that everybody else goes in, but if you've been, this goes back to if you've been doing something, don't change the rules on me midway, right? If he's been going in that employee entrance for 28 years off, as he said, on 31st Street, did you listen to the whole thing?
I did. I think what has everyone laughing even more so at the Knicks is the PR post that they put out after the fact with the cell phone photo from the rafters of James Dolan trying to shake Spike Lee's hand and saying, hey, look, at halftime, it's all good. So Spike's making all this stuff up. So
Spike told him to get away from
the spin that the Knicks PR put out there on Twitter was some Zapruder film photograph from miles away trying to say, hey, it's all good. This is a joke. It's just the Knicks. It's what they do. They make everything worse, no matter what. Even if it's just as simple as, hey, we'd like you to use this entrance, then you have the PR team tweeting that out in this scrambled photograph. You're like, wait, who's in this photograph? It's just what the Knicks do.
Well, I wonder who the guy was that started this whole thing with security. You can't go in here. I've been going in here for 28 years. What do you mean? You've already scanned my ticket. They wanted him to go around, and you know how it is. Once you scan the ticket, you can't get back in. So he wasn't going to be able to get back in. He did. You could tell me, why is he going through the employee entrance? Why is he better than anybody else? I'll listen to that. But if he's been doing it, you've been allowing him to doing it, and obviously, if so, encouraging him to doing it for the last 20-something years. I don't care if you've been letting him do it for the last 2 years. And then all of a sudden, he's going to do what it is, and you're going to tell him no and call security and have security meet him at the top of the elevator and escort him out. Are you kidding me?
The Knicks just can't even go through a day of enjoying beating the Rockets.
Right.
It's just something else always comes up with this franchise, no matter what.
Which entrance did Chris Rock use for that game? Did he go through the common folk entrance? Did he go where the regular people go?
Whatever one he used, he was fine.
Yeah, he seemed to get himself in.
He got in fine.
It's to your point. They can't do anything right.
Nick's gonna
and I will promise you that Knick fan will side with Spike Lee over their owner because they despise their owner. Has there been a more relevant franchise?
Team. That's what Knicks fans want.
Has there been a more relevant franchise for the last? I mean, give me 15 years.
Well, I think has there been a more irrelevant franchise that should be better with not only the money but the building, the city, than the New York Knicks?
Mm-mm. No, I mean you can tell me Orlando's been
top
more
of
relevant.
the list.
Yeah,
but you go to Orlando to what? To go to Universal Studios, not to play basketball.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can tell me Orlando's been more relevant, but with everything you just said, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's New York
Disney
freaking
World,
City.
right? That's where
it's a basketball capital in some respects. I mean, the playgrounds and it's Hoop Central. It's a basketball. That's always been, it's the Knicks. And I'll tell you, the Knicks were right there with the Yankees, number one, for fans in that town. Now the Yankees obviously have continued their success over the years, and the Knicks have become the Knicks. But that town loves the Knicks, and that's why that franchise is so valuable, even though they've been so bad for so long. All right, we're going to talk some high school sports. Coming up next, Adam Deal, the Grand Poobah over at ProView Networks, is going to be with us. We'll go through the brackets, talk about some of the big matchups. He's very, very busy, so he won't be around for the first round. But we can still talk about first round games with him, right?
Yes, he's sitting right across from me right now.
Oh, is he? All right. So now you don't have to put up pictures of me anymore?
No, we'll have a picture of you up still. Yeah,
I can send you pictures. Do you want? No, I probably shouldn't. 505-246-0610 is how you get in. 888-922-0610. Hey, this happens way, way, way too often. Business owners go home only to get a call in the middle of the night or show up in the morning and they were vandalized by a break-in. Sometimes it takes a long time to recover. Do not let this happen to you. International Protective Service, IPS, is a security company providing highly trained armed guards to watch your business when you can't be there. So if you don't want a full-time guard, they'll patrol your business to keep the bad guys away. And if your alarm goes off, IPS will respond with an armed officer within 5 to 7 minutes. The police may take hours to show up, and that's way, way, way too long. The bad guys don't care about the business you've built. They just want to steal something. IPS cares about business owners. Put them to work so your business isn't an easy target. Their job is to stop the break-ins before they happen. IPS also protects homes while you're at work, out to dinner, on vacation. You need peace of mind. IPS can deliver. Call IPS 897-2420, 897-2420, or go to ipsglobal.com.
The world-famous Laguna Burger is beautifully handcrafted. A burger that's created from certified Angus beef, sinfully cooked to juicy perfection, and garnished with New Mexico's Hatch green chili. Tempt your taste buds with mouth-watering fresh ingredients.
Cut! We're gonna need another Laguna Burger. Try the irresistible world-famous Laguna Burger. Visit thelagunaburger.com. It's fresh with a kick. Take 32.
Lava Rock Brewing Company, conveniently located on Albuquerque's west side, just south of I-40. You can come on in, enjoy our pizza, pasta, burgers, and more by Matucci's. It's all at Lava Rock. Lava Rock Brewing Company, come on in.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Sports Network. Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
What is glamour? Frailty. What is desire? Diamonds. They say a life lived without passion is hardly worth living.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Ma'am?
Dang, this one made me feel all special.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
The Lascombe family has been growing and crafting wine in New Mexico since 1981. Formerly known as St. Clair Winery, we're going back to our roots and honoring our founders, Danielle and Hervé Lascombe. Today, our D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro locations continue to deliver the exceptional wine and food experience you've come to expect from the Lascombe family. Visit us and enjoy a culmination of our sixth-generation winemaking legacy and unique, perfectly paired foods. D.H. Lascombe Winery and Bistro.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional.
Game day here in Vegas. Glad we're here. Lobos and San Jose State will go at 3:30 Mountain Time. First round of the Mountain West Conference Tournament. You listen to it over on News Radio KKOB. Thank you to the 5 great conference tournament sponsors who made sure that we're here for you. American Home Furniture and Mattress. They guarantee you'll pay less. Hooters, your college hoops headquarters. Airport parking. Park for less than half the price of Sunport parking. Rudy Chavez, attorney at law. Remember, Saul calls Rudy. And 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Call attorney Clay Miller at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Jeff Siembieda, J.J. Buck. Micah producing on the radio side. Josh produces on ProView Networks and the grand poobah of ProView Networks. Adam Deal is in studio with us. What's up?
What's going on?
All right.
How's it going?
Lots. Okay.
I got your nice picture on the TV in between JJ and I. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you guys are very kind to me.
Well,
how'd you do on your
live from Las
bracketology?
Vegas, New Mexico, but it should be.
Is that what it says?
I thought I did pretty good with the girls bracket and it knocked it out. The guys bracket I had a matchup flipped, so it was pretty good.
Yep, you did all right. What do you think of the first round matchups? Because there's some matchups where you go, well, dang. First of all, there's some intra district matchups in the first round of the state tournament with Cleveland and Rio Rancho and Volcano Vista and Atrisco Heritage. So two of those really, really good teams aren't even going to get to the pit.
Yeah, what's crazy too is between those four, that's your last four state champions and runners-up, with Cleveland being runners-up twice in the last 4 years, and then Volcano Vista winning the state championship once and Atrisco twice and Rio Rancho once, right? So those are your last. It's been a dominating district, and we know it's been dominating, and I think unfortunately they have to play in the first round. Like that first round between Volcano Vista and Atrisco, I feel like could be a state championship matchup. It's crazy if you're just learning right now, the seeding process, and you say, well, a 5 and a 12 should be the state championship. Yeah, absolutely, it could be, is what I'm saying.
Explain that, because I think there's people who didn't hear you in the past. This isn't as subjective as maybe people want to believe.
It's 100% math. Like it's just 6 criteria, and you use those as points. And the only thing that people really don't know is the coaches poll at the end, in which the coaches vote 16 teams, and they accumulate that information and use one solid poll. And so that's the only thing that's the X factor, but it's still math. And so the NMAA has no objectivity at all. There's no talking points, oh, this team should be ahead of this team. It's just they use the 6 criteria and they seed them. But one of those criteria has really affected this bracket, and that is if you finish, you're finished in district play. Now, if somebody finishes above you in district play, you cannot be seeded above them in the state tournament. So
that's in regular season, right?
That is
not in district
right,
tournament?
Not in the district tournament. So the example here is that Trisco Heritage had a really bad district or non-district run. They'd lost to terrible teams that didn't make the tournament, and it really affected their max preps rankings, which is one of those criteria. It really affected their ranking. In general, it affected their overall record. But then they turn it on, which we knew that they could with Josiah Ramos and Coach Ortega as the 2-time champs they are, and they won the toughest district. So they finished above Cleveland second, and then Rio Rancho was able to clip Volcano Vista in a game that affected the Hawks. And so Volcano Vista finished behind Rio Rancho, meaning they had to be seated behind them in the tournament. And so it just kind of was this domino effect, and all of a sudden Volcano Vista, who's been ranked 1 through 3 in the state throughout the entire this season, the entire season they've been in the top 3. They're going to be a 12 seed, and I'll tell you right now, Trisco Heritage does not want to see Volcano Vista again. Let me mind you, Volcano Vista beat Trisco by 34 points in the Joe Armillo Classic. That's your 12 seed versus the 5. With both teams healthy, everybody that they have now, Volcano Vista beat Trisco.
And the 5 seed is the one that got run out of the gym.
They got run
out. I mean, you could say 12. If you told me the 12 and 5 were playing and they played a 30-point game earlier in the year, you'd say, yeah, the 5 seed beat the 12 seed by 30. No. The other way.
Yeah.
The 12 seed beat the 5 seed.
Yeah, and so that's why I think it's a crazy bracket. And you look at, there's other teams like El Dorado. Okay, El Dorado had 6 losses on the season. They've been ranked inside the top 5. La Cueva turned it on late in the year, won the district. El Dorado had to be seated behind them. La Cueva's credentials didn't have them above a 9, so they're going to have to go to Clovis in that 9-8 matchup. And El Dorado has to go to Hobbs. And we all know Tasker Arena at this time of the year is one of the toughest places to play. Now, I still do think that El Dorado could come out with a win because they're a better team than Hobbs, but it's a hard road environment for young kids to play in. And so the bracket is very odd. I mean, from the top, there are teams that obviously belong. Las Cruces with just 2 losses, both to Oñate, their district rival. They're the 1 seed. Santa Fe and Capital, a lot of people are praying they meet in the semifinals. They're on the same side of the bracket. Santa Fe 3, Capital 2. Check this out. Santa Fe and Capital have already played 6 times this season. If they were to meet one more time, it would be for and they've split, so it's 3-3. If they were to meet again, it would be in the state semifinals, and it would be for a 7th time, which I think would be a state record if I'm not mistaken. I know La Cueva and El Dorado played a while ago for the championship when it was Colin Neal and Bryce Alford. That was for the 6th time of the season. But I know a lot of people up north are really excited about their teams. I think Cleveland's matchup against Rio Rancho is favorable. JJ will be doing that one, which is awesome. He'll do it again for ProView Networks on the NFHS network. And I think Cleveland still, in my opinion, is the team to beat on that side of the bracket. Santa Fe and Capital will tell you otherwise, but Cleveland, I think, all around is the best team that I've seen. Wouldn't you agree with that, JJ? That you've seen a lot of Cleveland.
I think defensively that they shut you down, unlike many teams can do in 5A right now. Just what Trey Watson, his defensive ability, and then Hasbury's a dude you don't really talk about a lot on that team. And he came up big in the second half against Rio Rancho. So I like their athleticism in the post. But I did want to talk to you about Santa Fe and Capital.
Yeah.
And we'll start with Capital, the 2 seed. How do they play? Who do you need to watch out for on that team?
They're all around, right? JT Sanchez is their player, though, their go-to. But they are a team basketball, and the only way I could explain them if you haven't seen them is if you saw Santa Fe last year without JB White in the finals, just a bunch of 5'10" guards, right? They don't have anybody that's really of size, but they share the ball and they move and they hit 3-pointers. And so Capital is dangerous in that aspect. Here's the deal with Capital is I don't, other than Santa Fe winning those games, which is a monster rivalry, they haven't beaten anybody, and that's just what it is on the schedule. Now, if you tell me that they deserve the 2, I'm fine with that because of their record and their wins against Santa Fe. They lost to Cleveland at home, so they had an opportunity there to get a win. I just don't know. I feel like if El Dorado were to meet him in the quarterfinals, I feel like it would be a dangerous matchup because nobody's going to match up with Taraji Agbayosi, the monster forward for El Dorado. If El Dorado can sneak by Hobbs on the road and meet Capital, I think it's a dangerous matchup for Capital for sure.
Also, who's coaching El Dorado in that game?
That's the question everyone's asking. I know. I mean,
and if you don't know, Roy Sanchez, El Dorado's coach, was suspended because he got 2 technicals, so he has to sit out a game. In 2 technicals against La Cueva last weekend.
That's right, Jeff. And I think they're trying to appeal it. El Dorado, I think they're trying to appeal that one of the technicals was not valid or whatever the case is. And so I think the NMA, I can't speak for the NMA, I think the NMA is going to look into it and find out. I would imagine no matter what that Roy would travel with the team. You want your team focused on the bus, and I think he can be up there until about 30 minutes until the game starts if this is not overturned. I believe that's what I've been told. So I'm sure he's going to try to want to make sure his team is focused and ready, because listen, El Dorado, I'm telling you, El Dorado has a great side of the bracket. The problem is, like, if they're playing Hobbs at home, this would not be a problem for them. It's just the problem is on the road in Tasker Arena is very difficult in a long travel.
He's Adam Deal, the brand poobah of ProView Networks, in the studio with us.
I think we'll take this break because we're up against it, and then we can come back and start going down the list. And maybe is there any Cinderellas you need to watch out for across all the classes, boys and girls?
It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Adam Deals with us, Micah, Josh, and y'all on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Big time March. Hoops. It's a hoops holiday. It is. And in a hoops crazy state like ours, you get tons and tons and tons of it. You'll get the college variety here in Vegas today. Lobos open up the men's side of the Air Force Reserve Mountain West Conference Tournament. 3 o'clock over on News Radio KKOB. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green will have the call from Albertsons Radio Row here at the Thomas and Mack Center, Lobos in San Jose State. And then, of course, Friday and Saturday, you get the first round girls and boys of the high school tournament, and you can watch those games on ProView Networks. The grand poobah of ProView Networks, Adam Deal, is with us in studio, and lots of great matches. So JJ, where do you want to go? You want to talk to him about like teams that may be able to make a run? It's hard to say, give me a 12 or 13, because you got 12 or 13s that are really, really good that have an opportunity to realistically make a run, right?
Well, if you're going double-digit seed, if we keep it 5A boys, it's like what Volcano Vista right there if they get past Atrisco Heritage. But you start going down, even if it's not a double-digit seed, but you look at 4A, 3A, etc., who are teams that you need to keep an eye on? Right.
I guess the 10 seed, I mentioned El Dorado and Volcano Vista are very dangerous. I think if either of those teams win their first round game, which is crazy, I think they can make a run and win the whole thing. So I'd go there. I wouldn't go any further than Volcano and El Dorado in the 5A boys bracket. I would say that there are opportunities in the 4A bracket, and two of the last 3 years, Jerron McIntosh, who's done an unbelievable job, and almost like a quiet job if you're not paying attention with Del Norte, has made the Final Four the last couple of years, or 2 of the last 3 years, as a double-digit seed. And he is battle-tested, and his district is crazy with Valley and Hope and Highland and Albuquerque Academy all in that same district, who are all in the top 10 of this 4A bracket. So they got a tough one against Los Lunas, a game they lost in a tight one earlier this season, at the very beginning of the season. But if anyone's proven they can go win on the road, it's Del Norte. I think Del Norte would be a terrible matchup for Highland in the second round, because every time they play, it comes down to the last possession. And they've already played each other 4 times this season, Del Norte and Highland. So if Del Norte can win against Los Lunas, I feel like they're dangerous in the 4A bracket. Gallup kind of snuck their way to a 2. I'm not sold on Gallup, but I think their road is great. Chaparral, who just had to make the tournament because they're district champs and their district was as weak as can be. I think they won it with just 10 wins. And they'll play the winner of Espanola Valley and Kirtland Central. Espanola will bring the house with Gallup. That'll be a great quarterfinal in the pit. But, I mean, Jeff, you know, as the years come by, that those fan bases are crazy. So it would be fun.
Gallup and Espanola.
Yeah, and I think Gallup has got a great road, though.
There's an intriguing 4A game in the first round on Saturday night, and I think that's the game at Hope. I think Academy in Hope is I mean, am I missing something there?
That's so you're right, and that's a great point, Jeff. Because earlier this year in district, like I talked about, that crazy district that they had in District 4 or 5, District 5 of 4A, Academy beat Hope at their home in district play one time. Now Hope had won the other time pretty decisively. Now, this will be at Hope. It'll be a early night game at 5 p.m. We'll have it for you broadcasted. But I think you're right. So Academy's hung around with all these teams. They're battle tested. They've got really good players that can score, and they're kind of on the up and up. It's been a while since Academy's been in this position. It's a dangerous first round for Hope. Hope will still be favored, no doubt, but I think you're right about that one. That side of the bracket, I think, bodes well for Academy or Hope, because I think Ortiz is just okay. I've seen them. They're the 4, and so the winner of that will play the 4-13 Artesia Grants, and I think the winner of Academy Hope have a really good chance of making it to the Final Four, in which Valley is sitting there. They're the defending champs. Valley returns everybody. Jevin Baker has been fantastic underneath. Marcus Voss coming off the bench has been great, but Valley has maybe the best sharpshooter. Derek Chavez has been unbelievable shooting the basketball, and so Valley is going to be dangerous. And then, Shea Oyeku maybe driving the basketball might be the best. Valley is definitely the team to beat in the 1 seed in 4A boys.
He's Adam Deal. Hey, JJ, I appreciate him more when I'm sitting in studio, because I watch him and I know he's doing that with no notes. Like when I'm sitting here and I don't get to look at him, you think he's going through notes doing that, but I know right now he's staring down at the table. He's got his hands on the microphone, and he does this all from the top. Am I wrong?
No. There were brackets on
Yeah.
the TV, though. So
No, it's okay that he's got the brackets up, but I mean, as far as
you look at the TV for the brackets.
yeah, no, I'm down that you want to look at the bracket. Hell, I'd be down if you had notes. I'm just always impressed how much you know without having notes.
I
in
think
front
it's
of you.
more
That's
of a shot that I don't have notes.
no, it's good. Retain it up in that noggin.
All right, give us something to look at for girls basketball fans. They start on Friday. I know we've run through a bunch of boys stuff, and you're welcome to stay through the top of the hour if you want. But the girls stuff. If there's a player or two as we go through the tournament that maybe people haven't seen or something to look for.
Jalen Bates, Natalia Chavez, the two best players in the state. They play for Volcano Vista, who got the 3 seed. I think this is Hawks' tournament. Their only losses to La Cueva. Not La Cueva, Sandia, which they avenged that loss to Sandia, and then West Mesa slip up in the Metro tournament. They'll get a chance to maybe play West Mesa in the quarterfinals, who are the defending champs, but don't have the horses to get it done. There is Cumber from Sandia is a D1 player. You want to watch her, you can watch her. We have 4 great games at the 3A level on the NFHS network on Friday. Hobbs is the 1 seed. They only have 1 loss to Carlsbad. They might have to meet them in the quarters. It depends, though. Lori Mabry and the Cibola Cougars have beaten Carlsbad already. So dangerous game in that 8-9. Mayfield is the district champs down south. I think Cleveland has no chance. La Cueva maybe as the other best player in the state, who's going to Cornell. You got to be smart too, and that's Kyra Ingram, who is a fantastic guard, can do it all for La Cueva. Very young team. I see maybe La Cueva, Hobbs, Volcano Vista, Piedra Vista, the 2 seed kind of. I think chalk. I think I'll chalk to the Final Four. You've really got to play well to upset these best 4 teams, and from there, Final Four, it's anybody's game. I'll take the Hawks. So Volcano Vista, Lisa Villarreal has done an amazing job year in and year out. I think they're poised to win this year.
Now, we got an email from Grady. There's a lot there. But what we have to ask, are we finally going to get to see Pecos Magdalena 2A title game?
Yeah, you're going to see it. And if you guys haven't seen, you have to see this. We gotta dig it up somewhere. Magdalena sent us a watch party pic to Provy Networks when we do our bracket breakdown, and they're all on horsebacks, right? It's awesome, the whole team, and there's a mountain in the background. It's the best watch party picture that we've ever received. So Magdalena, my view, gets points for that. But yeah, they're gonna have to take down the 3-time champs, and that game has been canceled twice. I feel like it's just meant to be that they just meet up in the pit. And so Pecos will be looking for their 4-peat this year. I think Magdalena, though, they have some studs. I think Magdalena has a chance to knock off Pecos, but you've really got to play great to knock off the 3-time champs. So I'm hoping we see that matchup.
And that's one, yeah. So Pecos, the 1 seed, 25-1. Magdalena, the 2 seed, 27-0.
Yes, and Only, who used to play for Rio Rancho, transferred out, and he's just a dunking machine. He's having a highlight year on the 2A level. So Magdalena do have some star players. Magdalena, he only used to play at Rio Rancho, and he transferred to Magdalena. He's doing great. He's doing a great job there.
All right. When do you guys start games on Friday? Let people know if because this is a time of year. I think this is probably, and I would imagine, your highest viewed time of year. How people can get ProView Networks, what the process is. If people have heard us talk about it, and maybe they haven't gone to the website or haven't registered or haven't just get in early, get it done, so you can just get there on Friday and Saturday and get your games on.
Yeah, get it now, and I think it's $10.99 to get a month pass, which would mean you could watch all 70 games, which is quarterfinals up, A through 5A, girls and boys, all quarterfinal, semis, and championship games, and then the select games that are picked out by not just ProView Networks, but Sports Primo and other entities have to broadcast on the NFHS network these state games. So if you go to our website, ProViewNetworks.com, the link will be there to send you to the state tournament where you could watch it. But it is all on the NFHS network. That is where every game will be. So NFHS network, or if it's easy for you to go to ProViewNetworks.com, you'll click on the big state tournament logo that we'll have there from the NMAA, and that's where you can go and purchase your pass and watch every single game. And I know years past maybe there's a problem here or there, internet or something. Last year there was not one problem. So internet's getting better in the facilities. The NMA has done a really good job to secure that, to make sure that everybody could watch these games. So it's good stuff. And as you guys know, last year New Mexico, state of New Mexico, it was ranked number 5 in attendance to watching these games. So New Mexico takes an entire nation attendance to the tournament. So that everyone knows how big it is March here. And I feel like with the Mountain West Conference tournament being a week right now where you're at right now, Jeff, a week earlier in the state tournament, both eyes can be on both a little bit more now, which is great.
I'm looking forward to being back and being able to go, because usually I catch it Tuesday on my way out. I'll stop at the airport and catch an early game. I'm looking forward to being in town and being able to get the meat of it. I know JJ's going to be doing some games. Maybe we could. And I apologize not being able to do that.
No, we're going to figure something out. Jeff, we're going to figure something out. You got to do one.
Yeah, I just didn't want to commit to something that and then the plane's late or so. I couldn't do right. If I'm going to commit, I want to do it right, and I just didn't feel like I could do it the right way.
We'll figure something out. Figure it all out.
All right. Enjoy. Have fun. We'll do it again. Are you available for us next Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, probably via call-in. I think we did that last year. Does that work?
Yeah.
We kind of did a morning call-in update. If you guys want to do that,
guys,
it's up to you guys.
I don't know how you guys working on the program.
The phone for next week.
Yeah.
How about that? The old telephone. The inventive genius of Mr. Alexander Graham Bell. That's right.
Always appreciate
All right. Enjoy
that.
the state tournament.
Yep.
Thank you for stopping in today, and we'll catch you next week. He's Adam Deal, the Grand Poobah at ProView Networks. All right, we'll come back, wrap it up. Still have time for phone calls at 505-246-0610 on your opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. I've been staring at the walls here in the media room at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, where the Lobos will play San Jose State in the first round of the Mountain West Conference Tournament later today. Got a couple questions, trivia questions for you, JJ. I think you'll be able to get them pretty quickly. I want to say thank you one more time to our 5 great tournament sponsors who have gotten us here for you. Airport parking, park for less than half the price of Sunport parking. American Home Furniture and Mattress, they guarantee you'll pay less. Rudy Chavez, attorney at law. Remember, Saul calls Rudy. Hooters is your college hoops headquarters, and 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. Attorney Clay Miller at 1-800-TRUCK-WRECK. All right, so primary logos of the Mountain West. 3 of them display fangs or teeth or growls. Can you name the 3 logos in the Mountain West that which school's primary logos display fangs or teeth?
Well, the Lobos.
Growl. All right, Lobos are 1. Yeah, absolutely.
Nevada?
Absolutely 1. Nevada would be 2. Yes, Nevada's 2. Yes.
And then fangs. I'm just trying to think of
fangs.
Fresno State.
Fresno State. Ding, 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 ding.
Bulldogs.
Ding, 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 ding.
Good job, Micah.
All right. Yeah, no, it was very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought there was one more. 1, 2, 3, 4 main logos are only letters. Just letters. What are the 4? That main logos are only letters.
Utah State, UNLV.
Ooh, Utah State is one of them. What was that? UNLV was the other one you said, Josh?
Yeah, UNLV.
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, that's right.
Air Force.
Utah State and UNLV. 2 more.
Like I said,
one of them played the New Mexico Bowl.
Is Air Force one of them?
He can't hear you. You got to put
Air Force and San Diego State.
Ooh, SCSU.
What the hell?
You breaking stuff now? I can't hear us. Anyway. Jeff was there, and now Siri's trying to chime in with stuff. Trying to drop trivia on there at the end. I have no idea what just happened. Did you get Jeff back? You there? No? Okay. Well, we got this far. on a morning from Las Vegas, just minutes away from the close of the opening drive. But some Mountain West trivia for you as Jeff is out there. Thomas and Mack Center just staring at the walls, so you can kind of see the morning it's been for Jeff. Wants a coffee right out, and here we go. But the Lobos will play San Jose State. It will be 3:30 Mountain Time or thereabouts, depending on when the first game of the day, Fresno State Air Force, concludes. You can hear that game over on News Radio KKOB. It is a Mountain West Network game today, so no TV for the first round games. If the Lobos win, you can not only hear them again on News Radio KKOB, but that will be a CBS Sports game tomorrow night. But the first round games in Vegas today, all 3 of them are on the Mountain West Network. 8-9 game Fresno State Air Force, 7-10 New Mexico, San Jose State, then 6-11 Colorado State and Wyoming. And if you're looking for a team outside of top 2, and everyone's been on San Diego State and Utah State who could go on a run, I would have went with UNLV. But True Long, bone bruise, they're probably not expecting him to play tomorrow, and he's been such a dynamic player for them in the backcourt. I think that hurts UNLV, and even so, their semifinal matchup would be against San Diego State. I don't think anyone is expecting the Aztecs to slip up to Fresno State or Air Force in their first round matchup. But you got to go down to Colorado State and their run. If they beat Wyoming, then they'd face Nevada. So there's a good draw for them to win 2 games. The Lobos, if they run it back against Utah State, I know that Paul Ware and company like the matchup just in terms of their athleticism against the Aggies, but you got to get there. Lobos are 9-point favorites today. I think they handle their business. We won't learn much about this team unless they fall on their face. Oh, hey, Jeff, you back?
Hey.
What's up?
What did you guys do to me?
No idea.
Did you get the other 2?
Check. What's up? I don't know. We just started talking, going into the tournament, the brackets.
San Diego State and Air Force were the other 2. All of a sudden, I was hearing Bob Clark, and I guess Jurgis is over there with him, and I was listening to KKOB, and I don't know. I mean, is what you guys do?
You're like, hello,
you done with me?
Super Tuesday. No, it just.
All right.
Here we go. We made it that far.
You know, if you're
just minutes away.
We got almost
almost the entire way.
We got almost. I know we got almost a whole show in, which is odd. All right. What were you guys talking about?
I just went into looking at. So if you're picking someone to win 2 or more games, outside of the top 2 seeds, I really think it's Colorado State. Just given the fact that they beat Wyoming, then they face up against Nevada, and then it would be Utah State or whoever comes out of that side, which still thinking to be Utah State. But it's 7 and 6
because you don't look at the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, Colorado State, New Mexico, I think are the 2 teams, and specifically Colorado State, that you'd like winning to get to the semifinals and then do something crazy potentially, like get to the final.
UNLV beating what about UNLV? To beat
I think
Boise
UNLV
State
can beat
San
Boise
Diego
State, but I don't think they can beat San Diego State. I do think losing potentially Michu Long, who it doesn't sound like he's going to play Thursday, and then that would mean he probably wouldn't be ready Friday. He has a bone bruise in his knee because he just changes everything. Like gives them that depth, like so many more playmakers in that backcourt. I think they can still beat Boise State without him, but I don't like their chances on Friday.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. All right. Well, looking forward to it today. And it goes at 3 o'clock Mountain Time over on I was just listening to News Radio KQB. They sounded good over there. Going on over there, you will be able to catch the pregame show with Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green. And then, of course, the Lobos and San Jose State. If the Lobos win, they will move on to face Utah State, the number 2 seed, in the quarterfinals tomorrow here at the Mountain West Conference Tournament. But first things first, take care of business today. And JJ firmly believes that they're going to be able to take care of business, and you like them to cover.
1 minute.
Yeah, I got the Lobos -9.
All right. That's good. That's good. Tomorrow we'll have some post-game sound one way or the other from Paul Weir and players, and see how this thing goes, and hopefully we're talking about looking at another day of basketball around here. And if they do win today and move on to the next round, the quarterfinals would be played here in the Thomas and Mack Center. That would be, I'm looking for
30 seconds.
Oh, it would be at 7 o'clock Mountain Time on Thursday. All right. Thank you to Adam Deal for being with us today. Micah, pretty good job. That wasn't you who did that? That was someone else you said?
Yeah, someone out in the hall switched the system over to KKOB, so I had to switch it back real quick.
Yeah, why not? What the heck? All right.
15.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Back
You
in
too.
the Boutique, all right? Go out and be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll see you tomorrow.